Welcome to Syracuse, New York, for Gatekeeper and Heiser Media's combined coverage of the 2024 Syracuse Open, sponsored by the Pie Guys. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Fantastic. I am so happy to be doing this coverage. This used to be my home course when I lived up in Syracuse for 2 years, and I'm just excited for this to be on film and to see some of these guys play. So we got Josh DiBattista, we got Harry Chace, Luke Sakran, and Jerry Menzie.
Yeah, a great card as we take a look at some of the players to watch in this field. Some of the guys on the card, as we mentioned, Jesse Longenecker, David Fleck, a couple other high-rated pros that we'll see if they can make a push onto the lead card for the later rounds of this event.
Absolutely. So we are starting off with a doozy here. Hole 1, par 3, 262 feet, really tight tunnel. The only gap is straight down the middle with a little bit of finish to the left. This is a tough green to access, and if you hit early, you can get in some serious trouble.
Yeah, pretty terrifying hole to start your day off on. Josh throws a really nice shot there to give himself a long look.
Yeah, and so some of these shots too, see Harry kind of goes to the left there. He might have a deep circle 2 look. Some of these shots, if they kind of finish early left, there's this big tree from what I remember too that you have to kind of mess with. So a lot of people end up finding themselves there.
3 good shots from our card so far, but Jerry Menzie pulls that one a little bit, and he's going to have to start his day with a scramble for par on hole 1.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good shot. I think that gets him inside the circle to save his par. And you can see here, this is kind of a common area to land. You're like 45, 50-ish feet from the basket for your 2-bid.
And a good effort.
Slow.
Yeah, just a bit off from DiBattista. Harry, we can see in the bit of the thicket over here, short left of the green, ends up a bit short on his birdie bid as well.
There's a good par save for Jerry. Tough 2 to get, but definitely don't want to take a 4 to start your day.
Yeah, averaged over par for the field, and you can see why with that tight gap off the tee. Luke Sakran went a bit long, kind of gave his shot an ace run. Luckily, he didn't go too far into that rough deep of the basket. He's going to be left with about a 15-footer or so to start his day off on the right foot.
Man, just a bit high. I mean, a lot of the times you say to yourself, I don't want to leave it short. So not the worst run, just, maybe a little first putt jitters.
Yep, can't blame him. And we got ourselves a par frame to get this thing started.
And here we are at hole 2. This is a par 3, 232 feet. Tied off the tee once again. Once you make it through this initial gap, you got to try and find your way through this second gap of trees, anywhere near this big tree, and you're giving yourself a putt. You got to be careful too, because sometimes people try and rifle one through this gap, and they find themselves going out the back, and it does drop off there. So just gotta be, you gotta have touch.
So far, nobody able to get through completely clean. Both guys probably somewhere out in that circle 2 range.
Ooh, that gets a nice kick, and he'll have a circle 2 bid.
Menzie going to the standstill just a bit early, catches that left side tree, and it's going to have to scramble again here on hole 2.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've hit that tree. But he is left with a decently open upshot, and he seems to take advantage of it.
Yeah, definitely going to give himself another chance to save a par. got some outside looks as
Wow.
DiBattista just a bit low again for his birdie look. Some floaty
Yeah,
bids
and this
from the
isn't,
guys.
yeah, and the reason they're floaty is Harry nails this one. It does drop off past the basket, but Harry doesn't care about that. He cares about the chains.
Yeah, Harry Chace locked in early. That is a great death putt that he knocks down from circle 2.
Unfortunately, Menzie will have to settle for his bogey on hole 2. But
It can happen quick out here. I mean, if
it
you don't hit
can.
that initial gap off the tee, basically have to hit the same shot that you're trying to execute off the tee, and sometimes even more difficult. So it can happen quick.
Yeah. All right, hole 3. This is a par 4, 611 feet. This is going to be a backhand hyzer off the tee. There's a landing zone to your right, landing zone to your left, and then you're shooting up over over this bush into this bottleneck green. Once you get it inside here, you should have an inside the circle look. So this tee shot, a lot of guys like to be up on the hill, and some guys like Harry, if you can throw far enough, can kind of get past the bush to the left of it. So we'll see. We'll have to see where he ends up.
Yeah, the landing zone is blind off the tee, so these players obviously know the course, know what they're going for, but won't know exactly where they landed until we get up to those shots.
Yeah, the landing zone these guys are going for as Sakran kind of turns this over. He's not in a bad spot over here though. Like he's up on this hill, and he'll have to throw like a forehand hyzer or a little backhand turnover into the green. But if you do get to the left side where the first two went, it's kind of just a straight shot into the pin. And even Menzie here, again, he's up on top. He'll have a flick in.
Yeah, so
This
this
leaked a
is
little bit left. And this one is going to be a little bit left as well.
yeah, not ideal from DiBattista. Had to work with something, and Harry just not the tee shot he was looking for.
No, and this is kind of why I really like playing it up on the hill, because you just know it's going to be in the open. But that was a great shot from where he was.
Yeah, catches some late trees, but is still going to have a look for the birdie. And yeah, this is the other option, going forehand into the green. Well executed there from Menzie. Going to have an opportunity to bounce back with the birdie. Sakran has a very similar line.
Yeah, I just really like the hole played that way. It lines up perfectly gap wise for the forehand. Just a little off there for DiBattista.
And a bit off for Sakran as well. Catches some chains. Yeah, what a result for Harry Chace after that very difficult second shot. Able to still grab the birdie.
Yeah, and shout out to the club for putting in these new baskets recently this year. I know Eric Trippany installed those, so shout out to those guys. There's a good birdie there. Like you said, good bounce back.
And the tap in par for Sakran.
This coverage is brought to you by the Pie Guys, title sponsor for the Syracuse Open for its first 3 years. Reese and the Pie Guys team have been integral in the growth of this event since day one, providing lunch for all players and contributing to one of the largest pro purses in the Northeast. Stop in and chow down on their selection of brick oven pizza, fish fry, subs, and more. Or carry out your next meal with 5 locations in central New York, including 4 in Syracuse, you're never far from a hot slice.
All right, walking on over here to hole 4, par 3, 307 feet. Kind of shooting this straight gap and then having it bleed to the right. It's a tricky forehand because it does make it a little skinny on the left side, or it's a slow turning backhand. So Harry's going with the forehand. That's definitely early. As long as you can get around those 2 trees and to the right, you're not in trouble. But you need to it needs to push forward before it starts to go to the right if you want a shot at the 2.
Yeah, you want to just fade in front of those backside trees. We'll see if Menzie can line this up. This fades. Ooh, pushes it a little too straight, but it might have got a little sneaky.
Maybe. We'll see. Oh, that was looking good, too. Catches a low branch and just gobbles it up.
This one is pushing straight, but gets the fade just in time. That is a great-looking shot for Sakran.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he got inside the circle for that one.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, whoa!
From range, Josh DiBattista has hit metal on every single putt from downtown, and Harry Chace does the same.
Oh
off
my
the band,
gosh!
and then off the cage on 2 ridiculous bids. Wow, these guys are just running everything today.
Why not? Oh yeah, that's a great drive. Good bird there.
Yep, well done from Luke Sakran. Get himself on the board. The local.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Jerry for the tap in. 3.
Right, hole 5, par 3, 290 feet. Straight shot, mid-range, putter, depending. You want it to bleed just a little bit to the left, but this does drop off behind the basket. So if you leave yourself with a 30 to 40 foot putt, it's a little nerve-wracking. This looks a little high. If you end up on the left side, the woods over there are basically jail. There's not really much to do over there.
This one's looking like it has a much better line for Harry Chace. Scoots on up nicely. Should have an inside the circle putt coming up.
This one's looking a little left as well. Oh, gets a nice kick.
Thank you, that tree.
Some nice tree love at the end of the flight there for Menzie. This is looking good too.
Yeah. Anything that gets past that big, thick tree right there is going to be a good shot.
This is that left side rough you mentioned, Dan. You can see the circle's edge, a marker, but Sakran has a ton of stuff in his way. I don't even know if he can give this a bid. I would love to be proven wrong. Not a bad effort.
Yeah, not at all. Be careful, though. Those can pick up and roll on this hill. There's a good strike from DiBattista. Solid bid. Gets his day going. First birdie of the round. See if he can get something going from here. This is a very scoreable course. You gotta start scoring early and often.
Yeah, these guys are starting to pick up the pace now. Didn't mention Josh DiBattista coming down. He is the 3rd highest rated player from Maine. We've got a bunch of different northeastern states represented at this year's Syracuse Open. A pretty big B tier, a lot of added cash, brings in a good diverse pro field.
Yeah, I've known the like I said, I was a part of the club up here for 2 years. I know the tournament director very well, Steve. He's done a lot for the area. The first year he had raised $6,000, and it's just gotten more and more from there. And he's, him and the club and all the locals who take care of the courses really made this event special. So, and definitely seeing the fruits from that, getting these really good players from, like you said, all over the Northeast to come check out this awesome place in Syracuse.
And a great result from that favorable tree kick at the end of the flight leads to a tap-in birdie for Jerry Menzie.
Very nice. And here's a very unique hole, hole 6, par 4, 585 feet. You're looking to land right about here, and then you have to throw a very specific hyzer into this green. Now, you don't get much skip off of this grass unless it was recently mowed, so you're trying to throw like a spike hyzer or like a pushing hyzer on your second shot. Some guys are able to go over the top on the left side, and that looks like a pretty good drive there.
Yeah, kind of a candy cane horseshoe. I don't know, whatever shape you want to call it.
Yeah.
U-turn
Question
type
mark.
of hole. Yeah, exactly. Pick your favorite curved
Yeah.
shape, and that's what this hole is shaped like. Seen some good drives so far. I mean, any sort of placement shot in the middle is going to work. I think the real trouble comes in on how aggressive you want to be on that second shot.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how aggressive these guys want to get.
Yeah, and they're all in about the same area, so you're going to see DiBattista go high and try and more like spike this one in.
Has some good width on it. We will see if the distance was correct.
Yeah, and Harry throwing kind of a stall shot here. You'd rather push it more straight and deep than you would to miss on like a spike hyzer, miss short, because like this bushy area in front of Menzie here, or I'm sorry, in front of Sakran here is just absolute jail. So you want to make sure you get past it.
Yeah, and I think that was a grenade out of Sakran. We will see. Seems like he likes it, so we'll see if it had the distance to clear the stuff. Oh, and Jerry's tee shot came up a bit short left, going with the tomahawk.
Way up and over. It's doable. We'll have to see where that one ended up.
All right, so this is the result of the grenade from Sakran. A deep circle 2 look. Comes up just a bit short.
Oh, and what a great shot from where Menzie was. See if he can capitalize. Yes.
And he does.
Let's go.
Great birdie pickup there from Circle's edge.
He's like, yes. Harry just on the edge, and he's able to knock one home. Looks like DiBattista was able to go a little bit past the basket with his spike hyzer. He's right on the edge as well.
Yeah, not a bad result. About 25 feet or so for his birdie putt. Couple of twigs in his back, but not a problem. Knocks it down.
Yeah.
3 out of 4, not too bad on this hole.
Yeah, that's a well played hole right there. I think people are starting to figure this one out. All right, we're walking over to hole 7. This is a par 3, 415 feet. You see the OB line on the right. You're going to have OB deep as well. This bush to the left pretty much plays as OB. I mean, it's jailing there. This is down. This is going to be downhill, so you're trying to, just like Harry's doing, flip something up, ride straight, let it dump in. Got to have some good distance control at around 400 feet.
Late release from Menzie. That is going to be luckily still in the open, but quite a bit of distance still to get himself up and down to save the par.
Yeah, not the worst mistake, but definitely one you don't want to commit. DiBattista gets a little flex on this one. This has got to be something really overstable as it's dumping in. Looks pretty good.
See if it had the distance to make that corner. Oh, and here, talk about overstable. That is a lot of
Yeah.
Anheuser for
Come on
Sakran.
now. That's got to work back. And you got to also hope it doesn't push too deep. It's kind of easy to do that once you start ripping on something. This had a lot of hyzer on it. I'm curious if he was able to make it around all the trees there. So Sakran might have win OB here. Again, very easy to do.
Yeah, especially overturning it like he did. Oh, somebody
What was
from the woods.
unbelievable?
Got two guys in the woods. One of them is, I assume, DiBattista. One is Harry. Or one of them could be Jerry Menzie.
Could be.
Oh
my
the
gosh.
almost identical result. All right, so here's Harry. So that was Josh and Jerry from the woods. As Harry went a bit long left of the basket.
Yeah, that was a really good drive, and he's able to slam that one home, taking a stroke to 2 strokes on the card.
Yeah, as we saw in the intro, Harry Chace, the highest rated player in the tournament, highest rated player from Rhode Island, and just a solid overall disc golfer. We've seen him a lot on Heiser Media's coverage and Gatekeeper's coverage. If you've been around, I'm sure you've seen his face, so I'm sure he would love to take this one down. He's also a great start.
Yeah, and he definitely has the advantage on these longer holes, including this one, which is a par 3, 426 feet. This is uphill, so it probably takes more like 450 to really get in here for a putt. You can try and flex something up this right side. That's kind of the best direct access, as Harry's doing just that. Yeah, that was smoked. And then I've also seen some rollers on this hole, or some forehands as well.
Yeah, a lot of space out left, as this one just finishes a bit short left for DiBattista. So yeah, if you have that forehand power or the right disc for the roller and trust, definitely not a bad option. But so far we've seen 3 guys just going straight at it.
Yeah, and this right here from Sakran, this is a common play, to just have something up on this left side. And we know Jerry has a monster forehand. He just gets this one turned over. And there are the guys on the next tee pad.
Yeah, taking it in. Pin high for Jerry. It was a smash of a forehand, but unfortunately just a bit overturned. So he's going to pitch up for par. We'll have a couple of outside looks coming up. Tough to run with the low ceiling.
Yeah. But again, it's common to be over there and having to deal with those trees. DiBattista giving it a solid bid. Looks like the wind is picking up a little bit.
Yeah, we had a kind of blustery day, a bit of rain coming and going. You'll see the players with umbrellas kind of coming out as the day goes along. But this one is definitely a bonus birdie. A vast majority of the field, over 70% taking par. So not losing too many strokes with this result.
Yeah, no, never one I really planned on getting. Was just like awesome if you get a bid. Harry taps in his par. We're going to take a short walk over to hole 9. So here we are at hole 9. This is a par 3, 412 feet. Open space all over the place, but super bottleneck when you get up and into the pin. So a lot of people like to lay up and kind of pitch over or pitch through this little gap. I have a feeling that we're not doing that. I have a feeling we're going. Oh, and Harry is leaking left, and you can find OB over there. He just checks up short. He'll have like a little hyzer into the basket. So if you go into the tennis courts, you're OB, just in case you didn't know. He looks like he's going to be looking right at the lane there.
This one is leaking out a bit early left. That is going to be trouble for Sakran. Menzie trying to go
Ooh.
forehand again, and that one is old. Oh, that had some insane late stability, and I think it might have stayed in bounds.
Maybe.
I don't know if that
But
hit a
either
branch
way-
and kicked him back, or if that disc was just that overstable. Either way, he's going to have a great chance to save the par with that up and
Wow.
over shot.
Oh, that's deep. Yeah, that's going to be a tester for Harry to save his par there. You hear DiBattista say that's a putt.
Yeah, not a bad result. Just about 60, 70 feet short. Gives himself a long look. He's been close on a lot of these outside bids. Hasn't gotten one to drop yet.
Yeah, so for Sakran, there are some gaps in there to kind of squeeze your way through, but if you're 2 feet to the left of them, it's tough. That's a great up.
Wow. Goes to the forehand roller, I assume, and that is insanely well executed. As Harry Chace knocks down the par save from 38 feet. That is a big-time putt to pick up.
He's feeling it.
And yeah, keeps the momentum going in the right direction for him.
And a great par save for Menzie as well.
Yeah, I saw a good amount of par frames on this front nine. A lot of these bonus birdie holes. Seeing a lot of the field taking this score, so a little hesitation there, but Sakran will tap that in to finish out our front nine. Taking a look at the leaderboard, Harry Chace leading the way on this feature card. 2 under, 1 under, and 1 under for the other 3 members as we take a look at what the rest of the field is doing. Like you said, Dan, this course is scoreable and the field is scoring. 5 down seems to be the mark through 9. We'll see where these guys get to on the back. If you'd like to watch the rest of this first round coverage, make sure to head over to Heiser Media's YouTube channel. We will have all of 3 rounds of back 9 coverage over there. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and we'll see you on the back 9.